What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, your authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. And we have plenty of stories on this afternoon news show. We're going to be talking about Benjamin Sesko staying at Leipzig. We're going to be talking about Gareth Southgate snubbing Manchester United. We're going to be talking about Youssouf Fofana deal, the Branthwaite deal, Leny Yoro reports coming out way too early, over-egging the pudding from Portugal, and much, much more, with some stuff just as I'm going live right now in regards to Erik Ten Hag's future. And the Telegraph are putting out some interesting stuff, which I definitely want to get into towards the end. I mean, I was going to talk about the manager towards the end anyway, so we'll get into that. But plenty of stuff to discuss, plenty of transfers. That's going to be the majority of the show, because there's so many different things coming out from very credible outlets. So I absolutely want to sink my teeth into that. Hello to everyone in the chat. Random guy saying, it's been a very blessed day for me today. I've been assigned a seat in a medical university I've been applying to. That's why I haven't been participating in the shows lately. Well, let's just, if I had a soundboard, I'd do you a lot of like popping champagne bottles. Congratulations. But well done to a random guy anyway. Big up, buzzing for you, bro. Really nice to hear that, man. Always want people to do well in life, so that's fantastic news. Right, let's kick it off to Sesko then. A story came out this morning, I want to say, maybe late last night, that he's now decided to stay at Leipzig and he's signed a new contract on improved terms. Obviously, we was linked with him. Arsenal were heavily linked with him, and there was a couple of other clubs as well who was very interested in him. One, first and foremost, you have to, straight off the bat, happy he's not going to Arsenal. It would have killed me to see him there, especially if he became successful. It's a player that I've had not a connection to, because that'd be weird, because he's never played for England, he's never played for Manchester United, but a player I've been fond of, I've admired from afar. I believe he could be a top player, especially in the next couple of years. And it's actually quite a mature decision to say, you know what, the Premier League, not just yet. Like Bellingham, when he had the decision between Dortmund and United, and he was like, I'm going to go Dortmund because it'd be better for my development, and then I'll make the big move, and then the rest is history. He's doing what he's doing. One of the best players on the planet. I'm not saying Sesko will have a similar trajectory, but I'm just saying he's a talent that I believe can be a top player, and I would love at Manchester United. People was concerned because he's a similar style to Rasmus Højlund, and I would have to agree with that. That was one of the reasons why I wasn't overly pushing it, saying you should definitely get this guy. He's definitely going to be the one, because he is similar to Højlund in that sense. And maybe you do need a different kind of a profile striker, or you need a bit more experienced, in depth. I don't know. Some people may say a Dybala or someone like that, but I'm just saying a different kind of profile. But for sure, I think we've missed out on a star. I think Leipzig know that. Leipzig will be buzzing that he's signed this new contract, because what's going to happen now is the fact that his release clause was, 45 million, 50 million pounds, somewhere around them kind of lines. The fact that they've managed to tie him down now, they're going to get big money for him. If he continues to develop the way he's going and scoring goals, because the striker market isn't necessarily, filled with so many talents, and a lot of them are signed out to long contracts at the minute, Leipzig will be looking at that and they'll be like, yeah, we've got to make another 30 million off that easy. He'll probably go for 70 million in a year's time or 2 years' time. So, yeah, I think they've done well to keep him there. You could argue as well, £45 million. We paid 65 or 70 for Rasmus Højlund, and you could argue Sesko's further along in his development currently for when we first bought Rasmus. So, you look at it in that sense, that's a deal that should have been done. And if I was an Arsenal fan in particular, who don't really have a recognised number 9, we've got Højlund who we can work with. I know we need a second one, but Arsenal got Jesus and Nketiah, like none of them really strike you as a pure number 9 striker, ironically, as a pure number 9. So that is a deal that I would have been like, if I'm out, why have they not gone for that? Why have they not pushed for it? Because surely if they would have pushed for it, they would have got the deal done. So I'm interested to see if any kind of more intricate deals come around that, or come out, in the next couple of days, as to why Arsenal didn't push. Maybe Ornstein will probably put something out about that, because he's got obviously ties into a lot of the London clubs. But look, either way, we're going to get a good look at him in the Euros to all you England fans, because we've got Slovenia in the group stage along with Serbia and Denmark. So we're going to get a look at Rasmus and Sesko, coincidentally. So yeah, probably made the right decision if I was in Sesko's shoes, I have to be honest with you. A little bit gutted. Did want him at United. Maybe that boat sailed. But I'm interested to see who we bring in as the second striker. If we bring in a second striker, because I'm not even seeing us heavily linked to anyone, really. The majority of people are talking about striker, centre-backs, midfielders, and Elise. I don't see a lot of people making talking about the second striker. Swag Balls, what a name. Defo the right decision for him. Don't think he could have come United either. Yeah, I agree. Who should get either Xerxes or Cunha? Well, you look at the ones that are left. I think AC Milan are looking to pay Xerxes' release clause, so I don't see that happening. Wolves paid a lot of money for Cunha. They paid like 45-50 million quid. So that's not going to be very cheap. So, I don't know. Maybe they'll make a shock move for Ivan Toney, especially if fucking Thomas Frank comes, which I'll talk about towards the end. Maybe they'll make a shock move for Ivan Toney. Who knows? But too expensive. Way too expensive. I don't know who they're going to get. It could be a player that... Could be someone like a Julian Alvarez from South America they signed for 15 million quid. It could just be like an experienced one season just to help a little bit of depth, like a Taremi, who I know is obviously already moved. But someone like that, I honestly don't know. Brian Casey's in the chat. Afternoon, Nick. Hope you're well. You sound bunged up. I've been in bed for close to 2 weeks now with an awful dose. Oh, wow. Well, I hope you get well soon, Brian, and not nice to hear when somebody's unwell. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what sort. I think it's just allergies and hay fever. I don't know. I've had this cough for ages as well now. Let's probably go doctors about it. But yeah, I don't like going doctors. Who does? Let's be honest. Dan Errington, no, we can go within the next 2 summers for a lower fee than what he's been offered, and the highest fee offered has been 65 million. Okay, very interesting. Yeah, congratulations to Random Guy, everyone in the chat. Big up that. John James saying, big up, bro. Richard saying, Thomas Frank, I'd rather have Franklin Spencer. Interesting. I will talk about the manager at the end, I promise you. I'm saving that because there's quite a few bits on that. But let's just kind of decipher through this transfer news first. And then we can all talk about the manager together. So, I think it was Critchley from The Athletic put something out about Jared Branthwaite saying any potential deal for Branthwaite to join Manchester United is not expected to be imminent. Again, we've heard that before. In the midfield, Monaco's Youssouf Fofana has come under consideration at United, but it is unclear how serious or advanced that interest is. Now, just quickly on Branthwaite, I think the end of June and the start of July is going to be significant for this transfer because we know there's a few clubs in the Premier League specifically, well, obviously, who have to adhere to FFP financial regulations. So, and it's Aston Villa, who are in talks with Juventus for like a Douglas Luiz. There is Chelsea, I think, who need to sell a couple of players. Newcastle maybe need to sell a couple of players. And you also have Everton as well, who are struggling on the financial side of things. So maybe United are waiting for something like that towards the end of June, July to see what the crack is. If Everton do kind of break and say, you know what, we'll take 50 million or we'll take 60 million. If it goes beyond that, then I think that would be interesting to see if they still go in for him or they turn their attention to someone like a Leny Yoro or, I don't know, or a Tadibo, for example, especially if Eric Ten Hag stays. So, yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that one, see how that goes. Maybe Branthwaite can push the deal a little bit. If he knows there's genuine interest, maybe he can push it a little bit because he's not going to the Euros, is he? So he's got a good couple of weeks there to, you know, kind of assess his options and see what is the best move for him. But I think this deal could take a bit of negotiating, considering Everton's price at the minute. They're talking like 75 million pound. I'm sorry, I like Branthwaite, but I'm not paying that. That's the most expensive bowl of cereal you've ever seen in your life, let me tell you. I'm not paying that. So, yeah, you're going to have to get that price down, right down. And we've discussed this as a community anyway before. Like, the majority of you guys said, you know, probably it's price-wise, it's probably worth like 30 to 50 million more than fucking 50 to 70. So let's try and get it around the ballpark of 50 million, and then we have kind of more wiggle room then to operate financially. Fofana, on the other side of things, on the flip side of the coin, at Monaco, I've mentioned a few times, could be a very good deal. He's got 1 year left on his deal. Talks around 25 million quid is very good. Someone who can do both sides of the game to a decent standard. Only 25 years old, so he's got plenty of room left in the tank. The only thing about Fofana, and whenever I've watched bits of him for Monaco, lacks composure sometimes when he's pressed or in situations where it's a little bit difficult. Not great in aerial duels either, which we desperately need in the midfield. And he is overly aggressive sometimes and picks up silly yellow cards. So that's just something to consider with Youssouf Fofana at Monaco. And obviously, you always get talk of like this French player is fantastic and look how well he's doing in League One. And then you see him come to the Premier League and sometimes it never works out. It turns out to be the player that you think it's going to be. Bakayoko, for example, being a perfect example. When Chelsea bought him, it was the next best thing since sliced bread. So it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't always work out like that. But if Ineos are looking to not spend a lot of money, you would argue these kind of deals you're probably going to see a lot more of. Just to add a bit of depth and a bit of talent into the squad. Fofana might not necessarily be a guaranteed starter, but he could be someone who rotates because I'm sure he could do Cobby's job as well. He could do both sides of the game pretty well, although he's statistically going forward, he's not amazing. So, yeah, maybe look at him as like one of them kind of options rather than a priority midfielder in that sense. But, again, let me know what you think. If you've seen him a lot, if you've seen him more than me from Monaco, I'd love to hear your thoughts on him. If you've seen anything of him at all, get your thoughts in the chat. Let's go to the comment section. Please do smash a like on the video, by the way, and subscribe to the channel. We're 6 subs off 5,400. So if there's anyone in the TikTok who hasn't subscribed to YouTube yet, please do and get involved with the communities in the chat in a minute. John James saying, come on and smash those likes and subscribe, people. What an absolute legend. YJJ's in the chat saying, Tenag in. Random guy has gifted another Real Reds Talk membership. What an absolute legend. And Dan Errington was the recipient of that. So big up to Dan Errington. Everyone's in a good mood today. It's fantastic. I did put on the start of the show, no poll, how are you today? So forget about, would you rather have this guy or this guy? Would you rather have this manager? Just a simple question. How are you? And 62% have said very good. 38% have said meh. And 0% have said not great. So that's, as a well-rounding poll, that's good news. That's good news. But for anyone who's meh, I'm with you. I'm with you. For different circumstances that are going outside of the channel. But we move. Branthwaite is worth no more than 40 million, says YJ. Dan saying, if it came to a choice, who would you rather, Todibo or Branthwaite? I think if they was both the same price, I would probably lean towards Branthwaite because I think big lad, 6'5", great in the air. Todibo's not fantastic in the air, and alongside Lissandro, I don't know if that would work well. They're both good at individual things, but I think Branthwaite maybe would complement Alessandro Martinez more. But then Branthwaite plays on the left-hand side for Everton, so I don't know how comfortable he is. I know he's pretty good with both feet. So, yeah, I don't know. I like them both. I might have to sit on the fence on this one. Sorry. Well deserved. Welcome to the community, Dan. If you get Fofana, you need to keep Amrabat because he has not got the Neves skill set. Yeah, I think keeping Amrabat's pivotal for me personally. People going on about Enzo Fernandez for 100 million quid in the chat. Let him argue. That's absolutely fine. Since when was DB Cooper in this? Well, DB Cooper is just another membership gifted by a random guy. He's on a roll. He's obviously in a good mood. He's in a good mood today because of he's got his place in medical university. So big up random guy. But yeah, I've never seen DB Cooper in the chat before myself. So yeah, there you go. There's your membership. Hope you enjoyed the content. We had an After Dark live video that dropped early for members on the Sunday. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Just something different, talking about football to absolutely anything else. So nothing's off the table in that sense. And also as well, this week's really exciting for the members because we have one video dropping on the next future star to come out of the academy, and there's a couple of lads on that video. And we also have a midfield trio of Neves, Bruno, and Kobbie Mainoo, and why that could be, the next best midfield in Europe. And that's another video that you will get early access to. So, if you are a member, big up yourselves. If you want to become a member, click the join button next to the notification bell, or click the link in the description. There should be a link in there if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy that content, and we try to put the best out there. We're trying to improve it every single day, because we appreciate the support that you guys show on a consistent basis. So absolute legends, every single one of us. Yori's saying Shea Lacer is the next upcoming star. Well, he might be in there. He might be in there. I'm just saying. Not on my side. I know what player I've gone with. But yeah, Shea Lacey might just be in there, so you'll have to tune in to the video when that drops this week, to see who's in that. Right, let's discuss Leny Yoro, because the Athletic have put something. The Athletic have been very busy today. They put something out saying Leny Yoro is highly rated by Manchester United, but reports in Spain last week that United have already tabled a £60 million bid have been played down. So yet again, it's saying reports in Spain, but I'm pretty sure the reports came out from Portugal as well, because I remember saying, never believed that the Portuguese media, they push so many narratives and over-egg the pudding a lot. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but they're just, the Portuguese press, for anyone who knows, is just they're absolutely shit. So, yeah, they played it down. Man United played it down, so I imagine there'd be good sources in that. I like that we're going for this type of player. I think this wouldn't be a signing under the previous regime. It'd be a player that we're linked to, and everyone would be like, yeah, go get that player. And then we would go and buy, you know, a popular name on a lot of wages. And then, yeah, we've done it so many times. So someone like a Leny Yoro, I think, is a top target. You don't get linked with Real Madrid for no reason. I was actually looking at Real Madrid's defence and why they would need him. So Madrid have Nacho, who I think is leaving. He's the captain of Real Madrid, but I'm pretty sure they'll be saying in the Champions League final. And again, anyone who watches Real Madrid more than me, just do chime in the comments. But I'm pretty sure Nacho's leaving. So then you've got Rudiger, Alaba, and Militao as your centre-back options. Usually, typically a team has 4, so maybe that's why Real Madrid are kind of sniffing around Yoro to bring him in as the next kind of prodigy, to eventually go into that back line. I think Rudiger's like 31 years old as well, so maybe that's why they're looking at him. But let's be honest, for United, you're probably going to start the majority of games. But again, it becomes that option, like, where are you going to succeed more? Where are you going to win more? You know, it's Madrid at the minute, isn't it? Madrid's the best destination to go to, especially if you're a young player. Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Bellingham. I mean, like, the list is, honestly, it's just the list is endless. So if you are a young talent at the minute, I could understand why Yoro would prefer a move to Real Madrid. It's a no-brainer, to be honest, and it just feels like Real Madrid can pull the trigger at any moment. They can wait until the end of the window, August, and say, yep, Leny, you're coming with us, son. And they'll pay the money, and they'll be like, you know, done and dusted. So I've always had that feeling with Yoro. That's always been put out in the press as well, publicly, that he would probably prefer a move to Real Madrid. So yeah, that deal's a little bit more difficult than some of the other ones. I think someone like a Tadebo's to tap in, because obviously he plays at Nice. The price tag around it is significantly less than any other centre-back target that we've been linked with. So I could see that, because Ineos are briefing as well about certain expenditures, and the budget will only stretch so far, and we're going to have to get the best out of certain players. I think they'll probably go for signings like Tadebo, French League, at Nice. You know, they know the people at the club. They know who to negotiate with. Sir Jim Ratcliffe technically owns it at the moment still. So that's an easier deal to do. And then for Fana as well, they probably have ties in the French League because of Nice as well, with Monaco and stuff. So I see more deals like that being done personally. But then again, Leny Yoro plays for Lille in the French League. So I do think Ineos, as much as we give Ten Hag shit for tapping into his phone book for certain players, I think Ineos are going to do it in the French League. And, we've had some talents come out of the French League, so I'm not necessarily overly mad at that, but I think they're going to go down that route, in my opinion. Such a shame United pissed £60 million up the wall on Mount. Could have spent that money on young talent. I like Mason Mount as a player. I will always say that. I like him as a player. I think he's, when fit, is an important cog in any machine, in any team. Any manager will tell you that. But obviously United didn't expect the injuries that he was going to pick up. So, yeah, it's in hindsight, it's easy to look at it and say, yeah, didn't work out. Don't get where he's going to play. Why have we spent 60 million quid on it? But at the time, I was excited about it. I looked at Christian Eriksen's deficiencies and what Mount can offer, and I was like, that's a no-brainer for me. But then we just haven't seen him play enough. Simple as that. I haven't seen him play enough. But look, you look at any manager who's played under, Tuchel absolutely loved him. Loved him. Obviously got an assist in the Champions League final. Had a season under him as well where it was double figures in both assists and goals. Works his arse off. A very quick thinker on the pitch. Bow-footed. Good at set pieces as well, which we're not seeing enough of. I like him. I think he's really, really good. But I understand why people are a bit annoyed why we signed him. I like him as a player, but he was such an unnecessary signing. Didn't need strengthening there. Really thought you were going to get Sesko, said Charlie. No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it with us, to be honest. There was interest there, but I thought Arsenal were more going to get Sesko. I thought they were definitely going to get him. Dan saying, I'd like United to make the €50 million bid for Davis from Munich. Lucky Singh saying, Erik ten Hag is our manager. No more talking about anybody else. Disrespectful. I'm going to talk about the manager next because there's some hot stuff coming out about that. Nick with these, Ferrero Rocher, you're spoiling us. Ferrero Rocher? I'm confused. Please elaborate, Richard. I'm a little bit confused. Yoro might be the next Varane. It could be. And remember, random guy, when we missed out on Raphael Varane under Fergie. Could be a similar situation. And then we'll probably sign Yoro when he's 30 with injury issues on 900k a week. Pay the wages, can use Shaw at centre-back, and then Davis bombs forward. Shaw moves over to covering number 6, drops back slightly to cover centre-back position. Brian's saying, yeah, I've been saying for weeks he'd be perfect for us. I like him, Nick, but like Shaw, he's too injury prone. Who's that about? New shows. Oh, right, with these Ferrero Rocher, you spell. Oh, right, okay, I'm with you. Okay, yeah, I'm with you, Richard. You're welcome. Sancho to Fenerbahce would be apocalyptic. If that deal happened, I would shave my head off on a live. I would give I'm telling you now, if Jadon Sancho made a move to Fenerbahce, and we sold him to Fenerbahce for a shit price, and he went and worked under Mourinho, I would give myself a skinhead on a live. I'm telling you right now, because it ain't happening. Not a chance. Nick, nice name, LUHG says, Ten Hag needs to stay. Give him one more season. We can't keep swapping. Spud Murphy, love that name as well, saying, I don't want Southgate. Wouldn't mind Pochettino. Right, let's talk about the manager then. A lot of stuff coming out from a variety of different journalists. So we've had John Cross from the Mirror saying Manchester United were initially keen on appointing Gareth Southgate, but they've now moved on as the timeline does not work. Chris Wheeler saying, as of last night, Erik ten Hag and his staff are still in the dark over their futures at United. He's due back at Carrington for pre-season training in early July, so around my birthday, if you want to buy me a present. You can absolutely go for it. And then the Telegraph report 3 things out just before I was about to go live. So, despite talks being held with other managers, Ten Hag does not believe this has fatally undermined him. He just wants to have the support he believes he deserves to carry on and restore fortunes. Oh my God, this man. How are you sacking this man? I know it shouldn't be an emotional tie, should it? But come on. He's like, he's kind of sat there saying that, I don't care if you're talking to other managers. I just want to have the support and I want to carry on and I want to continue this journey with you guys. And then he also talking to fucking Gareth Southgate and Thomas Frank. What are you doing? What are you doing? Nonsense. The Telegraph also puts, it's becoming increasingly clear there is no outstanding first choice should they decide Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag is concerned that if Manchester United intend to keep him, then the club is falling behind the summer's market and this will impact their prospects next season. Look, we can sit here as a community and go through it together, right? Poch is out, not interested, or United aren't interested in him. That's the Telegraph who reported that. Tuchel wants a break, or in other words, Ineos said no to him because he wants too much control. That was from Romano. Southgate won't speak to any club until after the Euros, so that doesn't work time-wise. So he's out. McKenna's staying at Ipswich. He's out. That literally leaves Thomas Frank or De Zerbi. And if you're going to pay 10 million quid to get rid of Erik ten Hag and pay 5-10 million, whatever it is, for De Zerbi's release clause, does that make sense to anyone? De Zerbi wouldn't fit the Ineos model for the same reason Tuchel doesn't. So you're contradicting yourself. And Thomas Frank, I mean, when he's saying he's not a bad coach, he's okay, he's good. And he's done a fantastic job with Brentford. But you can't say to me, we're going to get rid of the manager who's just won you the FA Cup in a final against Manchester rivals who were the best team in the world for this guy. Like, am I going mad here or what? Honestly, I'm losing my mind with this Ineos stuff. I want to have faith in him and I want to have confidence. I absolutely agree with people that they've not really got to work yet and they've not really got their feet under the... But, they've had a good 4 or 5 months, to get the feet under the fucking desk, do a review and have a look. It's almost mid-June and we're still talking about the manager. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Richard saying Mount's too injury prone. My Damned United says the big horse scored for Netherlands last... I did see that, yeah. I was listening to Sky Sports News last night. And the paper talk, you see David Ornstein, where he's like, David, can you give us any update? It's like, Sky Sports have just got David Ornstein on to give him some insight to all this Manchester United stuff. And he just went, to be honest, I don't have a clue. I've given up. Like everyone else, we've all given up, haven't we, in that sense? I think we can all agree with Ornstein on that one. Nick saying if we sack Ten Hag, go get Ollie back. In my opinion, he shouldn't have gone. He was decent. United will never, ever do that. They will never, ever do that. If he was still there at the club, Ineos would probably keep him because he's a yes man and he'd adhere to their kind of structure. I agree with that, at least. Random guy saying, I heard Tuchel, Poch and Southgate are all out of the race for the manager job. Eric Ten Hag in. If not, take a punt on De Zerbi. At least he's got a philosophy. But I agree. But I think if you actually look at his, I think it's like points per game or amount of wins or whatever it is, it's similar to Thomas Frank. With the players that he's got at his disposal at Brighton. And also, he would clash with Ineos. He's a very strong character. He's very similar to Tuchel. He can ruffle some feathers. So I don't think Ineos will go for him. Whether you like him as a manager or not, I don't think they'll go for him. I really, really don't. Such an absolute shit show. No one out there that's an improvement on Ten Hag. Announce it now and let him work on the targets. It can't go on for much longer now. It can't. It has to happen. They have to make a decision this week. If they go into next week, when the Euros start and the transfer window opens, it's just going to be chaos. I mean, it's already chaos. Let's be honest. And even the people who have backed Ineos the most and have faith and have patience and are willing to, willing to be patient with them, can still see that this hasn't gone down the way it should be. I mean, they're openly talking to other candidates whilst the manager's still in situ in the job and just left there hanging, basically. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Will we turn into counter-attack FC with Thomas Frank? People want De Zerbi because it rhymes with Fergie. De Fergie, yeah, maybe. There's something in that. Skeptical. If United sack Ten Hag, which would be a shit show, then United need to sign Amorim. Well, Amorim's release clause is way too much. So that ain't going to happen either. So you can see where I'm going with this, right? And I think United Faithfuls on Twitter... I'm not calling it X. I refuse to call it X. United Faithfuls put something on Twitter, which I really, really liked. And he kind of did like a timeline and where we're at with this and put it into like a structure. So, Ten Hag effectively became a candidate for the job upon Ineos' arrival. Ineos interviewed Ten Hag, also probably letting him know they'll consider other options as they want to kickstart their reign with their own managerial appointment. Ten Hag, a day before the FA Cup final, he said, I already had talks with the owners. Sunday, I go on holiday. After the FA Cup, if they don't want me again, I'll go anywhere else and win trophies. He made the second statement knowing fully well that Ineos will be assessing all options. Third, Ten Hag went on holiday after the FA Cup final, waiting to know his fate based on Ineos' interview with other candidates. Ineos interviewed top candidate Thomas Tuchel, but he failed the interview and decided to take a break. Hint, Romano 2 weeks ago, Tuchel very keen on getting back to work already this summer in case of a good opportunity. So that's how you just know that what Tuchel's camp was briefing is absolute nonsense, that he wants to take a break. Absolute nonsense. So, number 5, so far, no contact with Poch and De Zerbi, meaning no interview, meaning they're not serious candidates, as far as we know. Number 6, we're currently at the stage where Ineos are considering planning to interview other candidates or are currently making their decision based on interviews conducted so far, and the continued delay in announcing Ten Hag's sack means he's very much likely to keep his job. It looks disrespectful from the outside, but I'm sure even Eric Ten Hag has been told that they want to handpick their own manager, which could still be him. Does that make any sense? Maybe. Maybe there's something in that. I don't know. But one way or another, I think we can all agree, you know, in a weird sense, the United fan base has been so divided for a long, long time on many different situations. I mean, honestly, there's millions of things that we've disagreed on. And certain sections have been very player FC on certain things and all that kind of stuff, right? But one thing that the majority of people agree on is that this is a shit show. And this has got off to a bad start at the minute. And I've always publicly said this, right? I've always publicly said this. Look at Ineos when they first came into Nice, right? So Ineos have a huge reputation in sports in general, right? In cycling and sailing and all this kind of stuff. Phenomenal, fantastic. But look at the actual sport that we're in, football, and look what they've done at Nice. The first 3-4 years was an absolute shit show. The stuff that went on with Dante as well over there, shit show. The stuff that went on with managers and people upstairs and all this kind of stuff, like, it's been a shit show. Even the transfer policy at times didn't work out. Signing players like Aaron Ramsey. And they've been up and down and finished fifth and ninth. And their ambition was like, right, we're going to take you into Champions League and we're going to compete with PSG. So just because they've come in and they've told everyone, you know, you're going from the worst to the worst with the Glazers anyway. So any kind of fan will cling on to something that's like this hope and this direction. But it's not guaranteed success. They're going to come in and smash it. They're getting the right people in, and that's fine. But them same right people are telling you lot that Gareth Southgate is the guy who's going to take us back to the top. What? If anyone else would have said that, if a fan said that in a stadium, or, you know, if Fergie came out, even if Fergie came out and said that, people would be like, Alex, what? What are you talking about? Like, it's that who believes he could do a fantastic job at United? I'd love to know why. I'd love to have a discussion with him and a conversation. I'm not saying he's a bad manager. He's arguably been England's best manager since we won the World Cup. Since Alf Ramsey was it, who won the World Cup. So in that sense, that's fine. But if you look at his record against the top-ranked teams, it's horrendous. He's bottled finals. He's bottled semi-finals. Against Iceland the other day, we had some of the best players in the world in our team. Phil Foden, Player of the Year in the Premier League, in the best league in the world. We had one shot on target against Iceland. He ain't it. I'm telling you now, he ain't it. I'd love to be proved wrong, but he's not. I'm telling you. Ben777 says, what were people expecting? When you bring a rat into the fold, get the Glazers, rat and Ineos out. Very strong comments. Until you read that quote from Ten Hag, I would have said he could walk away from the club. How can he work for them knowing they clearly don't want him? I said this, I used the analogy the other day, Brian. Think of where you work right now. If you knew your boss was actively looking for someone to replace you, would you stay there? Would you fuck? You're being undermined. I'm just embarrassed by Ineos at the moment, to be honest. Supported them throughout, but expected much better communication with the fans. Don't expect them to spill everything, but zero response to the noise isn't good. Why would Eric Ten Hag walk? I gave up 10 million, would you? No, that I agree with Ben. I fully get that. And obviously, he's invested a lot into this team, a lot of time into this team as well. So I fully understand why he wouldn't walk. But I'm saying at this point, you know, in any normal job situation, the majority of people probably would. United fans wanted a full sale with Qatar because Qatar would clear the debt and fix the stadium facilities. I wanted a full sale, but never Qatar. Their abuse record is terrible, and it goes against the whole ethos of our club. I was of a similar opinion. I just wanted, to be honest, a 100% takeover. That's all I wanted. So the Glazers were fully gone. I think Ineos slightly give them a lifeline in that sense, the Glazers, because it's a win-win for them. You know, they'll say, if you fuck it up, that's on you guys. It's not on us. You're in charge of the sporting department now. If you get it right, we're going to make more money. So it's a win-win for him. Nathan saying, why United aren't getting the best managers, bro? Why are we just getting managers out of jobs? Well, that's what I mean. They're getting down to the bottom of the list now. You know, it's like you've gone shopping and you've got all the top-tier stuff, right? All like the branded stuff. I want some Sunny D. You know, I want some Richmond sausages. I want some Lurpak butter, you know, the ones with security tags on and stuff like that. I want the prime cereal. If we're talking cereal, we're talking like Cocoa Rocks and all. And you've got there and you've gone, right, well, they're out of stock of Sunny D. They're out of stock of the Cocoa Pops. They've got no Richmond sausages. And they've got no Lurpak butter. So what we're doing is, even though we've already got, you know, a decent butter at the club, we're going to go look at some Flora for £1. We're looking at some rice snaps. That's on the aisle as well. And we're also going to look at some as the price sausages. Because, you know, we've had them before. They're not too bad. They're all right. Like, how far down are you going down the list, bro? We're going to start talking to fucking Paul Jewell, the former Wigan manager, who had one of the worst points per match record. Like, how far do you get down, realistically, before you just go, you know what? We're going to keep hold of him. Do you know what I'm saying? 6p noodles. That's what I'm saying, my damned United. That's what we're cooking with at the minute. 6p fucking noodles. I'm 50% sure Ineos are pressing the reset button, so all the managers are on the market in their view, including Ten Hag. I believe they would give him a new contract after the review. The whole Pizzagate to United saga has done far more damage to Ineos' rep than they realise. That is the Glazers' whole strategy. Nah, Kerrygold butter. Never heard of it. Is that Irish butter? I'm guessing. Sunny D. Now, there's a blast from the past. I had a bottle of Sunny D the other day. I think I got rid of it now. Oh, there it is. Florida style. And it hit. Oh, my God. Honestly. A cold Sunny D with ice. It hits, you know, on a warm day. There ain't nothing like it. It is a blast from the past, but I'm telling you, Dan. Oh, my God. It hit. It absolutely hit. So, yeah, that's where we're at in the manager situation at the moment. I'm just trying to see if there's any updates whilst we're live at the minute. Exclusive statement from Anthony Martial. He's on vacation. We're studying different projects. I don't know. It's not really anything to be raving about. Romano, United have to make room financially with the sales of Jadon Sancho and Mason Greenwood to see how they can invest on a winger like Michael Olise. Romano again. United are waiting to resolve the manager situation before they start moving for new transfers. Nothing new. Mari Forson has officially moved to Monza. Wish him all the best, of course. So, yeah. Look, guys, we're still in limbo, apparently. We're still in limbo, twiddling our thumbs, unfortunately. I can't speak. You lot know when it breaks, I will be live right here, right now. I'm going to go film a video straight after this on João Neves, Bruno and Kobbie Mainoo and how that could work as a midfield. And we're going to put that out early for members. So to all you members in the chat, I'm not sure why I'm doing that, like I'm some like rock band or something. So all you members in the chat, keep an eye out for that. That'll be dropping at some point this week. We've got the next Youth Academy star coming out probably over the weekend as well. So yeah, please do tune into that. By the way, guys, are you guys doing a Euro Fantasy League? Well, we set up, at the start of the season, we set up a Premier League fantasy stream. I had like 350 people sign up to it. And then a couple of lads in the chat were a bit like slacking on it a little bit, and then we was doing shows on it, and not many people were tuning in. So it was like, well, you know, if people don't care, we just won't do it. We put out stuff what people like. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I'd be open to it. I'll speak to the lads about it for sure because I like fantasy football, especially the Euros one as well. It's different. It's a little bit more harder to predict, in my opinion. Thank you for all the follows as well on TikTok. Come and subscribe to YouTube. We're on 5,395 subs. 5,395 subs, so we're only 5 off. If you haven't subscribed yet, click the link in the description. We've got an amazing community in the chat. I love every single one of you. Tuning every day, always got banter, always coming with some facts, some stats, and that's what you love, you know, because ultimately, you strip everything back. I'm sat in my room, OBS, talking to a screen, talking to a camera, and it's you guys who actually make the show. That's no bullshit. That's no cap. You make the show. So, yeah. And Random Guys just gone with a hat trick. Gifted one Real Reds Talk membership. And Vincent Bullock, who's been a long time watcher of Real Reds Talk, has got his first membership. So, yeah, Vince, you'll be able to enjoy 2 of the videos that we dropped this week for exclusive members only. And, yeah, we appreciate every single one of you guys. So, please do, if you can, leave a like on the video. I'm happy for Random Guy that he's got his position in medical school, I think it was, medical university. People have got the capybara emojis in the chat. Not seen them for a while either. And yeah, legends, every single one of you. Appreciate you. We'll see you later on at 7 o'clock. We've got something fun planned. And if anything breaks in between, we will definitely go live. So just stay tuned. Just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys